I'm gonna win, you're gonna lose.
Merle doesn't know what she's in for.
She should be shaking her little non-leather boots right now.
What are you saying about me?
Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Merle.
And I'm Rachel.
Rachel and I are best friends. So today we're gonna have a friendly competition. We're going to be making 2 lasagnas at 2 price points. One of us is gonna make a lasagna for $14 and the other one's gonna make a lasagna for $54.
So to make this fair, we're going to flip a coin to see who gets which budget.
And then of course at the end, we need to have a judge. So we're gonna bring in Aria and have him pick which one he thinks is better. But we're not gonna tell him who made which one.
Okay, so let's flip a coin.
So let's say tails is cheaper, heads is more expensive.
Okay.
The most mechanical flip I've ever seen.
I got cheaper!
All right, that means I get to do the expensive one.
Ooh, oh God, I'm nervous now.
I'm not gonna lie, I think you're screwed. I believe in you, Rachel, because you're a talented cook, but I'm feeling pretty confident right now.
I've worked under pretty extreme budget restrictions before, so I think I'm up for the challenge. First, I need to make some ricotta. I need to use something more inexpensive than cashews. The only other thing I can really think of is tofu. I'm going to add 1.5 blocks of extra firm tofu to the food processor. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice, some nutritional yeast to help give it a cheesy flavor, of course, a little bit of garlic. So I would normally want to do a fresh basil for this, but it's not really within my budget. I'm just gonna go with some dried basil instead, and then I'm gonna do some salt and some pepper, and then we're just gonna blend it up. Ooh, gonna try a little bit of this. You don't need cashews. Now it is time to make our meat sauce. So I'm gonna start by adding olive oil to a big old pot. And then I'm gonna start sauteing an onion. I'm gonna add in my garlic. I'm gonna do a little pinch of salt in here. So for my meat, I'm using white button mushrooms because they're cheaper than cremini mushrooms, which is what I would normally wanna use, and my eggplant. Eggplants are pretty cheap too. So this is gonna be our nice meaty texture we're adding to the lasagna. I wanna let it cook down for about 20 minutes. See, Merle's probably gonna use something like Beyond Meat, but you can still use vegetables and have a delicious lasagna. I'm just saying. Now I'm gonna add some seasonings. Going to do a tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce, just so we can get a little bit of that umami flavor going. And then we're gonna do a whole tablespoon of Italian seasoning, a little more salt and pepper, kind of feeling it out. And then I'm gonna add my very luxurious wine, which was a $2.99 bottle from Trader Jose's. Merle doesn't know what she's in for. Don't come over here!
Ooh,
No, don't look at what I'm doing.
Chill. Smells like mushrooms and wine. Someone's getting fancy on a low budget, it seems.
I don't want to eat my words, but I'm very impressed
Okay.
with what I've come up with so far.
I see the strategy is just blind confidence. I like that. It smells delicious, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so this is looking super meaty, and now it's time to just add in some tomato sauce. I'm just using a jar of tomato sauce. We're living life cheap. And now I'm just gonna let this cook for about 20 or so minutes, and then we can assemble. First, I'm gonna add a little more sauce to the bottom of the pan. And now we're going to add some noodles, some of our tofu ricotta mixture, a little bit of our meat mixture. Oh man, this looks so good. And I hope Aria likes eggplant.
Now I know why you were asking me that question.
Does Aria like mushrooms? Does Aria like eggplant?
Out of nowhere.
So nice that you really care.
I do really care. And now we're just gonna cover the top with a little more of our pasta sauce. Who needs vegan cheese when we have dried basil? Gonna sprinkle on a little bit of this. Ooh, gourmet. I'm gonna cover it with some aluminum foil, and then I'm gonna bake it for 25 minutes at 375 We're gonna uncover it and bake it for another 5 minutes, and then we'll be done.
It's my turn to step up to the bat. The first thing we're gonna do for this recipe is to make a nice vegan ricotta. And what we're gonna use for this is cashews. They are quite a bit pricey. I will absolutely admit that, but today, this one's on BuzzFeed. Nutritional yeast. We got some lemon juice, olive oil, some basil. I got about 1.5 cups here. Garlic, because duh. And some salt and pepper. Finally, some water. Now, I know the more expensive budget is kind of like the bad guy, because it's like so much easier for you. We want to root for the underdog, but reason with me here. Imagine this recipe is for like a date night or a special occasion, and even though the price point is higher, it will make many servings. That is so good. I'm rooting for Rachel too, but she should be shaking her little non-leather boots right now.
What are you saying about me?
Now it's time to work with our meat. First, I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. I'm gonna start it off by adding some diced onions. I'm gonna be using a $30 bottle of wine because, well, let's face it, I could, so I did. I'm acting like I'm really fancy right now, but realistically, after I've had a couple sips of this, my teeth are gonna make me look like Schmeagol from the Lord of the Rings, so it's gonna take a turn. My precious. Let me pour Rachel a tipple of wine.
Did I smell the sweet scent of a Merlot?
Merlot and Merlot. I'm not rubbing this in your face. I got to buy a lot of nice ingredients.
I
Right.
see you've got some impossible meat. Not surprised.
Oh, what is that supposed to mean?
An easy choice. Some of us had to grind up our own vegetables. Okay, how about let's make a little bet.
Okay.
If I win, I get to take over your Instagram for a day.
Oh, sure.
I get up to any kind of shenanigans I wish.
And if I win,
Pick any guy on Hinge for me to go on a date with.
oh, the
Why am I
stakes.
giving her this idea?
The stakes are real now.
A FaceTime date.
Aria loves meat. In this case, I think I've got that to my advantage, and possibly is pretty much as close as you can get to real beef. Time to add some wine, and the alcohol will burn off, so don't you fret. I have my tomato paste, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt to taste. I'm gonna add in my San Marzano tomatoes. They have a lot of flavor, so they're gonna take this meat sauce to the next level. We're making it fancy today. Oh my God, I'm like Rie! Make it fancy. So now we're gonna let this simmer in the pan for about 25 to 30 minutes. So now it's time to assemble. We're gonna start by putting some sauce on the bottom of our pan. I'm gonna save a little bit for the end. Get a little noodle action in there. 1, a 2, a 3. First, we're gonna add in our ricotta. You know, when I go home to see my mom, I'll probably make her this. It's pricier, but it also yields a lot of helpings, and it is so delicious. It's worth it, and it's kind of fun to do together. Ooh! Oh man, that's good stuff. And then here I've got some vegan shredded mozzarella. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that, because even though it's not real cheese, it gets pretty close. We're nearing the finish line. Let's put the rest of our sauce on here. Now finally, I'm just gonna top it off with some more of this vegan mozz. So I'm just gonna cover this up and bake it at 350 for about 25 minutes, and then I'm gonna take the foil off and cook it for an additional 5 more minutes.
We did it!
We did it!
Yay, Rachel.
It's been a long day.
It's been a very long day. I'll go first because I'm the cheapster.
Resourceful.
Resource? Yes. It's all about reframing.
You did an incredible job. It is almost impossible to find a really good vegan lasagna for $14 in LA. One serving. You made a whole pan. I'm actually very impressed.
Thank you, Merle.
That's hard.
Would I have liked to use maybe some walnuts in there? You know, in a perfect world.
I didn't have to be as scrappy as you did, but I will say I'm very happy with how it came out. I think it's going to be delicious.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
Aria!
Aria!
That was scary. I don't know if I like that.
So we have a lasagna for you. You don't know who made this lasagna, and we just want your honest feedback.
Is there eggplant in here? A planto de... I'm not a big lasagna boy. Tastes just like lasagna to me.
Really?
Yeah. So, I love the mushroom. I think the eggplant is cooked perfectly. It's soft. This tastes like ricotta. I love the filling. That's what Pop Pop likes.
Well, Pop Pop has spoken. Now it is time for dish number 2.
That's a very good lasagna too. This one does not taste as much like lasagna as the other one. This is more, I give it more like an 8.5 out of 10. I think because the cheese tastes like it's not real cheese. Everything else tastes pretty spot on. The meat in the middle tastes just like ground beef. If we're saying what tastes more like lasagna,
Yeah.
the other one tastes more like lasagna. Tastes less like lasagna, but I would eat this one instead of the other one.
Okay.
So now we're gonna tell you how much they each cost.
Okay.
And then you have to tell us which one you think is the best value. So this lasagna, the whole lasagna cost $14.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
And this one, the entire lasagna cost $54.
That's a hefty price. That's a lot of sushi. I don't think I spend that much on sushi ever. I like this dish more. This one tastes more like lasagna. This has better value. So I think that alone, this one's the one I would pick.
All right, we're gonna tell you who did what now.
I hope I'm not sleeping on the couch.
You sure are. Rachel's taking over my Instagram for a day, apparently.
The other thing too here is, you don't have to use a $30 bottle of wine to make this lasagna. I would do a combination of the two. I would make a love child out of these two lasagnas.
That's a good lesson, though.
So let us know in the comments below what other kinds of recipes you'd want to see us do a rich and a broke version of.
Let's eat all of this lasagna.
Also, sorry it's like pitch black now, but
hey, it's 8 o'clock. Like, we cooked all day.
this one, the entire lasagna costs $50. And
Keep that
and this one,
in. You got this. You got this.
and really get to it.
You can.
The entire lasagna costs $54.
Think of my mom's missing cat.
Oh my God.
$54.
Do you want me to say it? And this one, the entire lasagna cost $54.